So these are the three most important factors. Number one is how big the light modifier is. Bigger the light modifier, greater the amount of diffusion. If it's deeper, again you get greater amount of diffusion. And if the number of layers of white cloth are more, it's going to give you a greater amount of diffusion. Alright? But a bigger light modifier is going to spread the light at a bigger area, so there are higher chances that your entire room will get illuminated. So you have to be a little careful when you are doing portraits. So we're going to be seeing all the different light modifiers with respect to taking a portrait today. And Dr. Arundhati is going to be helping us out with that. Alright, so if you have any questions, probably what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking up all the questions in the end, provided I ask you a question, then you can answer it in the chats, because I really want to focus on today's session and show you all the different light modifiers that I have and how it's going to affect my portraits. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is to inform you all that since we're going to be learning more about the light system, we don't want colors to interfere with our understanding. So today's episode is all about understanding how light is affecting our portrait. So we do not want any kind of distractions. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking all the pictures in black and white mode, so that color is not a factor that's going to take your focus away from what we're going to be learning today. But you need to understand that although I'm shooting on black and white mode, I'm obviously shooting on raw files. So it does not matter if I'm shooting on black and white or not. My raw files still have all the information, and when I put it on the laptop, I'll be able to see all the pictures in color. It's just that while shooting, my screen is going to show black and white pictures. Alright, so let me explain what is the system for today. I'm just going to rotate the camera. So that's the gorgeous Dr. Arundhati. She's going to be sitting right in the center of the room, and she's going to be facing into the camera, into my camera. She's going to be stable at all the times, and we're going to be using different lights, like you can see on my screen. So we're going to be using different lights, different light modifiers at different angles. Alright, so we'll be taking one shot at 3 o'clock position, we'll be taking one shot at 5 o'clock position, we'll be taking one shot at 6 o'clock position. We'll see how a single light is getting us a portrait. Then we'll switch over to two lights. So you can see there's one more light on the back of Dr. Arundhati. So we'll be using two lights later on. But since using a single light is much more educative, it's much more academic, and you can learn more with the help of a single light. First we'll see how a single light is affecting all our portraits. Then we'll go on to show you 2-point lighting with two different lights, and if we get time we'll also show you 3-point lighting, in which I'll be using the speed light that's on the left, that's above the left shoulder of Dr. Arundhati on that side. Alright, so that's how it's going to be. So there are loads and loads of light modifiers and reflectors to be used today. I'm going to be taking pictures with all of them, and I'm going to be showing you pictures on my tab live. Alright, so let's get started. It's a very exciting day, and I'm hopeful that you all are going to be enjoying it as much as I'm going to be enjoying it. Alright, so let's just start off with putting the Elinchrom FRX 200 light on. So that's my Elinchrom FRX 200. So last time I spoke about what is a modeling light. So that's exactly what a modeling light does. It's a continuous light source, but it's not the actual flash. It's just basically telling us where the flash is going to fall on my subject. In this case, where it's going to fall on Dr. Arundhati's face to give us a gorgeous portrait. So what I'm going to be doing is, so I'm going to be showing you what a flash also looks like. So I'll just ask my staff to show you flash, how the flash looks like, which I had showed you last time as well. So that's the flash. I hope you could differentiate between continuous light source. So that is a continuous light source, but the lightning that came, that was the flash. So that's the difference between a modeling light and a flash. So the light that you see over here is not the flash, it's a continuous light source. Now I'll tell you how it is helping us. In order to understand how the modeling light helps us, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting my room lights off, so you can exactly understand how the light is going to fall on my subject. Just a minute. The light at 11 o'clock position is shining, so I'll just ask my staff to rotate it so that you have a very clear understanding of what's going on. Till that time, can you confirm if my audio is clear and so is my video? Can somebody put it on the chats if you can hear me clearly? Alright, so this is called as, this is the first technique of lighting that I'm going to be showing you. This is called as split lighting. Obviously, because it's illuminating only half the side of my subject's face. So this is a very much split lighting technique. Alright, and even the picture is going to be looking like this, but this is a continuous light source. But it's called split lighting because only half the face of my subject is illuminated. That's the left side of my subject, but the right side of the subject is fully black. And this is exactly what we mean by split lighting. When I do split lighting, it doesn't matter so much what is the height of my light. Usually we keep it at the level of the forehead or the ears. That should be fine. If it's pointing down or not, it doesn't make such a big difference. So I just keep it at the level of the forehead. Alright, so this is how split lighting is gonna look like. You can see my light over here. It does not have any kind of light modifiers. Alright, so right now it's just the light without any kind of light modifiers. So this is going to be the first picture that I'm going to be shooting for all of you all. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take a picture of Dr. Arundhati with my camera. Before I take a picture, I'm going to be showing you my settings. Usually I keep these settings. There's a constant shutter speed, constant f number, constant ISO, and image quality on RAW. The only thing that I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be keeping my picture style on monochrome, because I am interested in taking black and white pictures. So that's how I'm going to get black and white pictures. Alright, so for the entire series, I don't think I'm going to be playing a lot with my settings out here. If my image is too dark or too bright, I'm just going to change the flash power from my trigger. Alright, so that's my camera trigger over here. Sorry, that's my flash trigger. And if the flash is very powerful for me, I'll just reduce the flash power. Alright, so let me go ahead and take the first shot for all of you all. Alright, it's looking pretty good. And just a minute. Alright, so I'll tell you what happened. I took my first shot, but my trigger was off. So obviously the flash, the studio light hasn't fired. So it's going to fire now. So let me go ahead and take another shot. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. So that's the first shot that I've taken with my studio light. I'm going to be showing you how it looks on my tab. So this is called as the split lighting technique, wherein only half the face is illuminated. So that is my tab, and this is a picture that I've shot. So you can see what a split lighting looks like. So perfectly half the shape is half the face is illuminated, and the other half of the face is not illuminated. But what you cannot see right now is the background is actually not fully black. The background is slightly grayish, but you cannot see that on my tab. So that's the drawback of Not able to do a screen share directly from my camera. Although it's looking pure black, it's not pure black. That's because my light is spreading out in the entire room. Since I do not have a light modifier on my light, the light is spreading out in the entire room, and it's also falling on the background behind. So although my background is black and my entire room is black, I'm still not getting a black background because my light is spreading out really far and wide because I'm not using any light modifier. Alright, so this is what the picture looks like at 3 o'clock position. Now I'll be taking a picture at 5 o'clock position, that's at 45 degrees, and we'll see how it's affecting the portrait. So my staff has already kept it at 5 o'clock position. So whenever we take a picture at 5 o'clock position, we usually raise the height of the light such that the light is at a higher position, and we tilt the head downwards so that the angle of the light is up to down. Alright, so we shall raise the height of the light. Just a second. So tilt the head downwards. She's going to be tilting the head downwards. Yeah, so that's how a 45 degree image is going to look like. I'm going to be putting the lights off now so that you can see the fall of light on Dr. Arundhati's face. So now you can see that the light is falling not only on the left side of our subject, but it's also falling on the right side of the subject. Alright, so let me just go ahead and take a picture of Doc. So I'm all set, and that's what a picture looks like. That's what the picture is looking like. Let me just show that to you on my tab. Okay, so this is alright, so this is the previous image. Your light ban kar. This is the previous image. This is called as a split lighting, and this is the second image. Just by the change of light direction, you can see that I'm getting a good amount of fall on the right side of our subject. Alright, so that's the difference. Later on, actually this lighting it also has a name. It's called as Rembrandt lighting, wherein you can see a triangle on the opposite side of the light source. So this is where my light source is, but I get a triangle of light on the opposite side. The results will be more pronounced when we start using light modifiers. So that's just the difference that I wanted to show. And now what we are going to be doing is seeing how the light effect is going to be at 12 o'clock position. So I'll just put the lights on, and we'll see at 6 o'clock position. Sorry, so my staff is going to be taking the lights at 6 o'clock position now. So it's exactly in front of our subject, and we're going to be tilting the head quite steep. Alright, so there's quite a steep bend of light. And also what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting the light really close onto my subject and pretty high. Alright, so I'm going to be taking the light right above my subject's face, and we'll see how this is affecting our system. So now I'm going to be taking the third image, and as soon as I get it in focus, I'm going to be taking the next shot. Right one kar do. So let us see how the third image is looking. So you can see there is almost the complete illumination of the face. So let us compare all the three lighting systems. So this is the first shot. Can you tell me the name of this lighting, please? What is the name of this lighting system? So this is the first shot. this is the second shot, and this is the third shot. Okay, since I got the light close to our subject, it is looking really bright, but it is not actually that bright. Yeah, this is how it's looking actually. Okay, can somebody name what is the lighting system name of this? It's called as, okay, so we have Mr. Pashminu who has joined us today. It is called as split lighting. Okay, tell me the name of this lighting system wherein there is spillage of light on the opposite side of the light source, and we get a triangle of light on the opposite side of the light source. What is the name of that light? It is called as Rembrandt lighting. Rembrandt was a French artist, and this is synonymous to this. This is not exactly butterfly lighting, but in butterfly lighting you get a shadow just below the nose. It looks very pretty. This has not actually turned out to be butterfly lighting because the shadow has moved a little bit on the right hand side, but when it comes exactly below the nose, you can see a shadow just below the nose, and it's called as butterfly lighting. Very popular lighting when it comes to celebrities. Celebrities love to get shot themselves in butterfly lighting. So these are the effects of a light without a light modifier, and now I'm going to be switching over to my first light modifier. Alright, and that is a reflector. Alright, so let me ask my staff to help me put the reflector onto the light, and we'll put the light again at 3 o'clock position. पहले snoot था या reflector था? Okay, I'm going to be using the snoot first, and then we'll switch over to reflectors. So I'll just help her hold the light, because whenever I'm putting a light modifier, it's important to hold the light, otherwise the light will topple. So we are all set with our first light modifier of the day, and that is a snoot. Snoot is something that it collimates the light. The light becomes into a very narrow beam, and this is what a snoot will look like. Just going to be, so you can see my light is again at 3 o'clock position. So what do I mean by 3 o'clock position? If my subject is in the center, just behind my subject is 12 o'clock position. I am sitting at 6 o'clock position. My light is at 3 o'clock position. That's my first position. Then I'm going to be showing you the effect when the light is at 5 o'clock position, and then we'll be seeing how the effect is when the light is at 6 o'clock position. When the light is at 3 o'clock position, the height of the light is exactly as much as my ear. Right now it's slightly up, so I'll ask my staff to put the lights down. When it is at 5 o'clock position, it is slightly higher and it is bent downwards. And when it is at 6 o'clock position, it's quite high, right above the head of the patient, and there is a very steep incline in the light direction of my light. So this is what a snoot looks like. It is a very narrow cone. I'm not really sure if you can appreciate what my snoot looks like. I think now you can see my snoot. It is a purely black cone kind of a thing, and it collimates the light and it falls on a very small area on our subject. It's a beautiful light modifier to illuminate the hair usually, or to get a very heavy contrast on the patient's face. So it is very useful for strong personalities as compared to softer personalities. So I'm just going to be putting my lights off, and we're going to be taking a shot with my snoot. Alright, and let's see. So as soon as I get focus, I'm going to be taking the shot, and I'll show you the effect of the snoot on the picture, and we'll compare it with the same position of so this is what it looks like. So this is what is the image with the snoot. You can see the light is falling at a very narrow point. Quite a lot of light is falling on the ears, but it's also spilling over till the nose. And there is no illumination on the opposite side. There's the contralateral side, and I'm going to be comparing this with the one without the light modifier. So this is the one without the light modifier. You can see the huge amount of difference between both the lighting systems, right? Okay, so this is the one without the light modifier at 3 o'clock position, and this is the one with the light modifier, that is the snoot, at 3 o'clock position. Are you guys able to appreciate the difference between the two pictures? So you can see how dramatic this light is. I probably want to use this in movies like Sarkar. I'm not really sure if you guys have seen the movie Sarkar. The light is really very specific, up to the point, very sharp, and actually makes your subject look very dramatic. It's good for serious kind of portraits, but it looks really good, especially on men. This light looks really good if you want to create a good amount of drama into the pictures. So I'm going to be getting the light at 5 o'clock position now. All right, so let us see what the image looks like at 5 o'clock position. So at 5 o'clock position, the light is bent downwards and the light has been taken upwards, which my staff has already done. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the shot. So I'm just waiting for the studio light to start. So you can see the light is falling on the lips. I'll just ask my staff to put the light on the eyes, or I can ask my subject to look a little downward. So Dr. Arundhati, if you can just look a little down, or thoda upar le lo light. So the light, it look great if it's falling on above the eye. So I think it's looking great now. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot. Arundhati, can you just keep your eyes over here, please? That's the shot. Let me show you the effect of this. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you the picture over here. So this is my picture with a snoot at 5 o'clock position. You can see it's a very powerful light. Again, this is a Rembrandt lighting. Okay, you can see there is a light triangle on the contra side, on the contralateral side. Contralateral side is the side opposite to my light source, and I can see a very sharp triangle forming on the other side. Now I'm going to be keeping the light at 12 o'clock position, and we'll see the effect on our subject's portrait. Alright, so at 12 o'clock position, light is really bent downwards quite heavily. Just be careful, mindful with your legs. You can just open your legs slightly. Alright. I do not have the liberty of a lot of height because my studio height is pretty small. So there's no way that I'm going to be... So I'm facing a big challenge over here because this is very close to her face, and if I want to make the light fall on the forehead, the only thing that I can do is angulate it more. I can make it more flat, but there's one more way I can get that dramatic effect and butterfly lighting, is by asking the subject to go right below the light. So let's see if I can do that. First I'll set my light. So my light is set. It's quite a lot bent downwards. I try to take it a little high. Okay, that's the maximum height that I can get over here. So yeah, so what I can do is I can ask my subject to get the face close to this light. Alright, so let's just see how the effect looks like. 1 second. So I'll tell you when to come just below the light. But this is the kind of technical difficulties that we get in photography. Alright, let us see. Let me adjust the light first. I'll put the light on first. I'll put my other lights off. Yeah, Arundhati, can you come under the light? Yeah, that's perfect. 1, 2, 3. We'll have a look at how the picture looks like now. This was our previous shot, and this is our current image. So it has come out very bright because we went very close to our subject, but you can see there is a good amount of butterfly lighting which has come because she came exactly in line of the light. So you can see the shadow has shifted on the midline exactly below the nose, and there's a butterfly formation just below the nose. So this light is very famous with celebrities but it does not look great with a snoot, especially when you do not have space like in my studio, because that snoot has to be quite far from the face, otherwise it looks a little funny like this. It's not bad. Maybe I could have reduced the exposure by increasing the f number, or I could have anticipated that she's coming very close. I could have reduced my flash power as well. So let me compare this with the one without the light modifier. So you can see so much difference is there. When there is no light modifier, a lot of light is spilling over on the entire face, and when we have a snoot, the light falling on our face is really narrow. And now we're going to be using our second light modifier, which is a reflector, which is a small reflector. Alright, so let me go ahead and put a small reflector on our light. Alright. So this is the smallest reflector that I have. Okay, and it is at, it is at 3 o'clock position. It's exactly on the nose, I think. Yeah. Alright, so now we have our second light modifier, that's a reflector. Okay, till now we haven't entered into the kingdom of soft lighting. We are using very harsh lights. We haven't used any diffuser cloth till now. Okay, so this is my second reflector, and I'm going to be putting the light on. So what this gonna do is it is gonna be spreading light, yes, but not to the extent of a naked light. Alright, so it's going to be concentrating my light to a very large extent onto my subject, but less concentrated as compared to the snoot. Alright, so let us see what is the effect of this light on my subject's portrait. Alright, so let me take the first shot with our small size reflector. It's really bright, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be reducing my power slightly. Okay, so what has happened over here is you have to understand this, and it's really very important. Alright, let me show you what has happened. And I had spoken about this on the second episode. Alright, so this is my image with the reflector at 3 o'clock. First, let me show you the image that was taken at 3 o'clock without this is a snoot. Yeah, this is the, yeah. So this is the image at light one kar dena. This is the image at 3 o'clock position without the reflector. Alright, so you can see that at f16 the image was not as bright as compared to this one. This one is really bright because the reflector is focusing light onto her face, because the reflector, as you can see, is silver inside. So what actually happens in a reflector that does not happen in a snoot is because a reflector has silver color coating inside, it is going to concentrate the light and put it on our face. So at the same settings, you're going to get a very bright image as compared to the one without any reflectors. So when you do not have reflectors, the light is just spreading into the room and I've got a good exposure. But the moment I switched over to a reflector, I've got a very bright image because the light is very focused onto her face right now. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be reducing my flash power. Power kitna hai? 3.5. So I'm just going to reduce the power quite a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 2.5. But I think I'm going to be reducing it even more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 2.0 now. So let me see how the image looks like at a power of 2.0. So it is at 3 o'clock position. And the light is exactly on the ears and the light is straight. All right, so let me go ahead and take the shot. This is well exposed as compared to the previous shot. I think I'm going to be switching over to horizontal pictures because holding this is slightly tough when it's vertical. So this was my first picture with my first reflector at f16. And this is my second picture at f16. This is really bright and this is quite sober. Again, this is split lighting, so only half the side of the face is illuminated. And now we move on to Rembrandt lighting. So my light has been kept at 5 o'clock position. The light has to be, so you can see my staff has already bent it downwards and she has raised the height. So that is what we do in getting a Rembrandt light. In fact, you can see over here itself that we have got a Rembrandt lighting. So what I'm going to be doing now is before I take a picture, I'm going to be going to the split lighting side and you can see the triangle coming over as I shift from 3 o'clock position to 5 o'clock position. So let me just move that for all of you all. Let me keep the light right in the center so you can judge it very well. So yeah, you can see it very clearly now. So I am at the split lighting position. So you can see there's hardly any light falling on this side. So this is split lighting, but the moment I move from this side to 5 o'clock position, you will be able to see a triangle of light coming on the contralateral side of our subject. Alright, so let me just move it slowly and you'll be able to see the triangle coming in now. Are you able to see that? So this is what is Rembrandt lighting. But at this position I'm going to be raising the light upwards and the head tilt slightly downwards. So this is Rembrandt lighting, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take the shot for you all. So I'm just going to move the light for now. And I'll take my shot with the reflector. Alright guys, so the only difference that I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to keep my camera horizontal instead of vertical. It's really important to be comfortable at all the times. So 1, 2 and 3. That's the shot that I've taken at 5 o'clock position, and now my staff is just going to be keeping the light at 12 o'clock position. So you can see Rembrandt lighting now, guys. 12 o'clock. Are you guys able to see this? Alright, so this is, I'll show you the split lighting once again. So this is the split lighting technique, this is the Rembrandt lighting technique, and now I'm going to be moving on to the butterfly lighting. Alright, 12 o'clock पे रख दो, वो नहीं चाहिए, उसको क्यों कर रहे हो? Oh sorry, 6 o'clock position. So she's just adjusting the light, and I'm going to be keeping it right above the head. So when you're doing this, you just have to be mindful about the light touching the feet. You have to always ask your subject to watch their feet when you're doing that. Okay. Alright, so my light is set, and again I have to ask Dr. Arundhati to come right below the light when I'm taking the shot. But this time I'm going to be a little smarter, because I realized the last time that the moment she came very close to the light was very powerful because the distance had reduced. So I'm going to be compensating with that by increasing my F number. Alright, so let's take the shot. So I'm going to be increasing my F to F25. It was at F16 first, and I'll ask her to come right below the light, chin down slightly. That's perfect. That's it. We've taken the shot. I'll show you the effect of the light on my tab. So that's what the image looks like. Light band kar do. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can see light is falling not so equally. It could have been more on the right hand side of the subject, but you can definitely see a butterfly happening below the nose. But there is a heavy amount of shadow over here because my light was still directional. If you want a perfect butterfly, the light has to be exactly above the center of the subject. Alright, I have a habit of saying patients instead of subject, so if I say patient once or twice by mistake, don't mind that. Alright, so this is again 12 o'clock position, 6 o'clock position at butterfly lighting. So now I'm going to be taking a bigger reflector, so I'm going to be switching over to a bigger reflector. So I'm going to be removing the smaller reflector, and I'm going to be switching over to a bigger one. So you can see the difference in size of both. This is my bigger reflector that I'm going to be using now. This was the reflector that we used before. Alright, so now what is going to happen is the light is going to be less concentrated. It's going to spread out more, and also I'm going to be putting a white cloth on this, so the light is going to be more diffuse. Diffuser. Pakdo. So you can see that the reflector is ready, but we are going to be putting a white cloth on it. So this is a very simple white cloth. It's not a soft box. It is just a white cloth with an elastic on it, and we've just put it on the reflector. So this is not a soft box. This is just a DIY cloth that we have made for this, so that the light becomes diffuse. Alright, this is not called a soft box by any chance whatsoever. So I'm going to be taking the first shot as usual at 3 o'clock position, and the light is at the level of my subject's ears. I'm going to be putting the lights on. I'm going to be putting my room lights off, so you can actually see what's going on because of my diffuser. So you can see there is a dramatic effect already on her face because the light is much more soft, because now we have a white color cloth which is acting like a diffuser. Alright guys, so let me take the first shot for you all, and I'll show you what the effect is going to be in my first shot. So here goes. I have to change my settings. This was for the butterfly shot because she was very close to the light. I had increased my F number. I'm going to be switching back over to F16, and I'll see how the image looks like. If the previous images at F16 were correct exposed, then because of the white light, it's going to be a little less exposed now, because the white cloth is an obstruction. So let me go ahead and take my first shot. Alright, it's looking great actually. That means the white cloth is not affecting our system quite a bit. Alright, so again this is a split lighting, and now we'll switch over to Rembrandt lighting at 45 degrees with the height increased and the head pointing downwards. Let me compare this with the normal 3 o'clock position shot. So this is the normal 3 o'clock position shot, and this is the one with a white cloth and a reflector. Okay, the reflector makes it more directional, more specific, such that the background will be full black. But again, the light is going to be harsh because the light is very focused, and one single cloth is not going to make a very big impact. But you can see the hot spots over here. There are a lot of hot spots on the face in this light, on the zygomatic area over here, which is not there, which is less pronounced in this shot. It is much more subdued in this shot because of the white cloth. So let me show you the effect of angle change. Light laga do. At 45 degrees. So I'm going to be getting a Rembrandt lighting at 45 degrees. I'm ready now, so I'll just go ahead and take the shot. Alright, so I'm just going to light ban kar do. Show you the result on my camera itself. So you can see it's a beautiful Rembrandt lighting, and the image is looking fantastic as compared to the split lighting. So this is the split lighting. This is the Rembrandt lighting with a reflector and white color cloth. As compared to this is an open light without any light modifiers. This is Rembrandt with the open light, and this is butterfly with the open light. This is with the snoot. This is Rembrandt with the snoot, and this is butterfly with the snoot. This is the small reflector at split, small reflector again split, I think. Then I moved over to Rembrandt, and then butterfly, and then I showed you the white cloth effect with a bigger reflector, and now Rembrandt with a bigger reflector. Alright, so let us go ahead with butterfly now. And this is with a bigger reflector. So it is already set, really steep, and I'm going to be increasing my f number again because she's going to be coming very close to the light. I'm going to go to f25 again. Can you come under the light, please? Yeah. Can you look on your left slightly? Not so much, but eyes over here itself. Alright. I've got a perfect butterfly now because I have the liberty to ask her to change the face direction and get the light exactly, get the shadow exactly below the nose. You can see how beautiful this looks. This mimics the effect of beauty dish. Beauty dish is typically a round dish. And the catch light that you get on the eyes is round, like you can see in this case. And so while I explain things to you, my staff is going to be readying the first softbox. So we're going to be removing this reflector with a white cloth, and we're going to be putting the first softbox. That's the default softbox of the Chrome that came for free. Till that time, I'll just explain how this image looks. It's a beautiful picture, and you can see the beauty of butterfly lighting in this particular picture. Can you appreciate the beautiful shadow below the nose? It looks fantastic, and all the celebrities, especially the females, they love to be shot with butterfly lighting. Right, so you can also use a reflector with butterfly lighting. एक सेकंड कुछ भी मत डालो, ऐसे ही रख दो उसको 3 o'clock पोजीशन ऑन कर दो. Before I put any softbox on, I wanted to show you the effect of reflector on the other side. ये वाला लगा दो reflector, छोटा वाला. Light चालू ही रखो. So you can see that there is absolutely no light falling on the contralateral side because this is split lighting. Okay. Suppose if I do not have any other light, I can use a reflector on this side and illuminate the other side of the face as well. थोड़ा पास में लेना, face के पास. Alright, so you can see that we have achieved split lighting on our subject, but you can see there is a heavy amount of light on the other side. So what I'm going to be doing now is since just consider that I do not have that light, just say that I don't want to use it. If I still want to illuminate the contralateral side, I can use something like a reflector. So I'm going to be taking the reflector. So this is a reflector and I'm going to be keeping it. So this is a reflector, okay, and I'm going to be keeping it right on. So this is at 3 o'clock position, this one is at 3 o'clock, so I'm going to be keeping the reflector on this side, that's at 9 o'clock, and we'll see how it is affecting patient's illumination. Looks straight. Yeah. So you can see hardly any illumination right now, but the moment I keep a reflector, you can see the other side has also lit up. So even though if I do not have a light, if I still have a reflector, it does help me out quite a bit. You can see the effect of just a single piece of white cloth. You can also use a silver color cloth or a golden cloth. But see the difference if I remove it. Can you see that? And see it now. So this is how a reflector helps us if we do not have any other light. So I'm just going to keep it over here. And I'm going to be taking a shot like this. Okay. So I'll take one shot like this without a reflector, and immediately one more shot like this with a reflector. Okay, just a second before I move on to the shot, I'm going to be showing you the effect of the golden side also. So you can see this is the golden side. So this is without any light, but if I use a shining surface, the light becomes more warm, means more yellowish as compared to the white color. If I use the white, it's going to be a softer bounce, but if I use something like this, it's going to give me a heavy bounce, but the light color will also change. Alright, so for the time being, I'm just going to be using a softer bounce. That's a white color cloth. You can also use a silver color cloth. So the first image without the reflector, and then I'll take one image with the reflector. By the way, even this is called as a reflector, and even this is also a reflector. Okay, so both are different. Let me take my first shot without this bounce reflector, and let us see how the image looks like. Now I'll be using a reflector. I'll show you both the pictures together so that we don't waste time. Even the direction of the reflector is really important. You have to see to it that the light falls on the face and not anywhere else. Alright, and now I'll use the golden side also and see the effect on the face. Right, on the picture. Okay, so the light hasn't actually. ये light बंद कर दो, छोड़ दो उसको. So this is the image without a bounce reflector on this side. Okay, it's fully black on the contralateral side, and now we have the white color bounce. You can see it's very nice and soft bounce on this side, and with the golden color bounce you can see again we have hot spots on the other side. Sorry guys, I got a call in between. I'm sorry, I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode. Now I should not have any problem. So we already have, there's a sudden boom, so we have 20 people already. So what actually happened was I got a call in between the live. I'm so sorry for that. It's my mistake. I should have put the phone on airplane mode, but now it is on airplane mode. So let's just try to get back to work. So I'm going to be showing you the difference between the pictures now. Let me show it to you once again. Alright, so this is the first picture. We have lighting only on this side, and on the opposite side we do not have anything. But in the second picture we used a white color reflector, so we have a very soft lighting on this side. And in the third picture we have golden reflector, so you can see there are hot spots again on the contralateral side. Alright, so this explains the use of reflectors, and now I'm going to be switching over to my first softbox. So I'm going to be removing this reflector and I'm going to be putting a softbox in that place. Alright, just give me 5 minutes and we'll see the effect of softboxes now. So my staff is already putting the first softbox. So the softboxes are already ready. We just have to mount it and confirm. Alright, so we've mounted the first softbox. I'm going to be putting a small reflector in the center to prevent hot spots. And we'll see the result of the softbox in just in a minute. So once again I'm sorry for the disruption. We did lose out on quite a lot of people because of that. But now the advantage on the Facebook page is you can start a watch party. Since we were in the group first, you couldn't have started a watch party, but now you can start a watch party. So I'd urge all the people, all the 41 people who are there live with us to start a watch party, so this video can reach out to thousands of people outside. Do remember, this is just a live only event, so I'm going to be deleting the video as soon as we finish the live. Alright, so if you have any questions, you can throw them across at the end of the session today. Alright, so we are almost done with the softbox. My softbox is ready, and in the center you can see we have a reflector that's going to prevent any hot spots, and this is just a single layer of diffusion. Alright, so let me keep the camera over here so you can see what's actually going on. I'm going to be keeping this aside because it's interfering for the time being. 3 o'clock. So once you are done, you can fold your reflector into a small ball kind of a thing, and it gets folded like this. You can carry it wherever you like it. Currently I don't want to use it, I just wanted to show it, so I'm going to be keeping it aside, and I'll hand it over to my staff because I'm not planning to use it right now. Alright, so my first softbox is ready and we're going to be taking our first shot right now. Alright, so request to all of you all, please start or please host a watch party so even others can watch it. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be putting the room lights off. And you can already see the difference in the softness of light. It's looking really beautiful and soft. This is what speed light does. This is what a softbox does to your lighting. Okay, so you can see the immediate effect. Alright, so let me just go ahead and take the shot. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take my first shot. So let me just a trial. Alright, so you can see the difference. This is my first shot with a softbox at 3 o'clock position, as compared to see the harshness of light. In this one, so this is with the reflector and this is with a softbox. Can you see the difference between the two pictures? See the softness and see the harshness. Let me show you just the split. Okay, now see this. Now you'll be able to appreciate it much more. And now I'll show you the softbox effect. Anything and everything with the softbox looks fantastic, really beautiful. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and take the second shot with the softbox now. And I'm going to be keeping the light at 45 degrees. 45 पे रख दो अपना 5 o'clock पे. I'm just going to take the shot now. पीछे ऊपर ऊपर पूरा टच करो. बंद कर दो. So we are all set. You can see the Rembrandt lighting coming into the picture. I'm going to go ahead and take my first shot. Alright. Let us see the effect. So this is, I think it's, yeah, now it's sharp. So this is the split lighting. This is the Rembrandt lighting. And now we'll be seeing the butterfly lighting at 12 o'clock position. Right? Butterfly. Okay, I'm raising the light. That's the maximum that I can go, so I'm just going to be getting the light down, putting the head upwards. That's the maximum that I can go in this shot, and I'll have to keep it at an angle slightly because I have very limited light to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and take my shot. Right? Just put the lights off. Look on your left slightly. Left. Alright. So I got the butterfly with the soft lighting. So you can see the effect. We'll show all the three pictures again now with different lighting positions. All right. ये octa है ना? So this is, I'll just put the lights off. Okay. This is the split lighting with the softbox. This is Rembrandt lighting with the softbox. You can see the triangle very clearly. And this is butterfly lighting. I could have got more of shadow below the nose if I would have asked the subject to look a little downwards, but maybe I did not realize that the head was slightly tilted upwards. But if you want the shadow down, maybe you can ask the patient to look, you can ask the subject to look downwards. And it's not exactly in the centers. There's more shadow on this side of the face, which I could have prevented, but since I have very limited ceiling height, I could not have done that right now. All right. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be putting, we'll try and put the octa. It's a little too huge for this room, but I'm still going to try. So just going to remove the reflector. So I'm removing the normal reflector and we try and mount the octagon. I'm really not sure if it's possible in this room, but this is the first time I'm going to be trying. Alright. जो आगे जाना होगा नीचे लेना है कहाँ पे जा रहे हैं ये वापस क्यों लगा दिया? Okay. Remove behind. मुझे आगे जाना होगा. पकड़ा है लाइट? हाँ. इसको अलाइन करो. आगे से डायरेक्शन ही गलत है. एक मिनट ऊपर से अंदर डालो.
आपने पकड़ा है क्या ये सॉफ्ट बॉक्स?
हाँ.
वो छोड़ दो, मैं करती हूँ.
डायरेक्शन गलत है तुम्हारा. छोड़ो, निकालो. तुम्हारा तो यहाँ पे भी अंदर ही नहीं जा रहा. इसको और नीचे कर सकते हैं. सुला दो बस. लाइट्स You can see this is huge, even bigger than my room. I'm just going to try it once more. If it's still not fitting, I'm not going to try it again. Sure.
लॉक करना है इसको.
So if it doesn't fit, if it's vertical, you can make it horizontal and put it. It's less of a mess. Should have done better before. So this has double diffusion. This is the huge reflector. It's got 8 rods, that's why octa. And this is the first diffuser. And then we have the second diffuser in front. Right? Diffuser level.
हाँ.
And now we're putting the outside diffuser. Alright, it's done. But since I do not have enough height, it's going to be a big problem. So see that up? Alright, so we are all set to take our first shot with the octa. But the octa is going to give a huge spread of light. So the light is going to be thrown in all the directions, but it's going to be much more smoother. I'll be asking the doctor to come in front. Yes. So you can see the light is falling. So you can see the light direction is this side. So I'm not going to be getting a black background. So if I want a black background, the light direction has to be the other side, like this. Only then I'll get a black background. Right? I hope you guys understood that. But if the light is there in the background, you'll never get a black background. In fact, you will get a black. Alright, there's a lot of spillage still, but that's how octas are. They spill a lot of light across the room. Well, let's just go ahead and take the first shot. I'm still not happy with the direction. I'm just going to redirect it once again. Arundhati, just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, yeah, fine. It's not bad. Might be able to get a black background. Now, can you come close to me? Let's move a little away from the light. Yeah, fine. Just come close. Should be fine. So, alright, so I think I'm ready. So now my issue is I cannot be facing such that, so my light direction, my camera direction should be such that it should not have the white color diffuser in the line of fire. So I can't shoot, obviously I cannot shoot like this. I have to shoot in this direction such that I have black color background in the background, because if I'm not mindful about this area, I'm going to be getting a white and a black background. Means this will be fully white and this will be fully black. We don't want to do that. So how I stand with respect to my light is extremely vital. Alright, so let me go ahead and take the shot. I'll just put the room lights off. Alright, so we'll see the effect of the lights first. So you can see it's a beautiful soft lighting on the face, but it's going to have a much more spillover onto the shoulders. Alright, it's going to be much more smoother as compared to the conventional softbox that comes for free. So I'm ready and take my first shot now. 1, 2, 3 and done. Alright, so let's see the picture. So with the Octa I cannot keep at 3 o'clock and stuff. With this itself I have some light spilling over on the contralateral side, you can see. So although I was trying to be as split as possible, because the light is so huge and it's kept so close to my subject, that I got a Rembrandt even at 3 o'clock position. But the light is much more soft as compared to the studio light. So this is an Octa and this is the, I'll show the Rembrandt of the normal studio light. This is the normal studio light, Rembrandt lighting. This is the butterfly. This is the Octa. You can see it's very, very smooth and nice as compared to the other diffusers. Now I want to show you something else. Just by changing my camera's direction, I'm going to be getting a white background. So what I wanted to tell you all is, when I get a black color background like this, it is called as low-key image, means a black background. My light has also come in the background. I'll have to Photoshop it out. I'll have to reduce the exposure on this part. But if I get a white background, it is called as a high-key image. So since this is a huge background, I can just change my own direction and get a white background here itself without moving the light. What I can do is I can move myself rather than moving the light. Alright, so I'm going to be changing my position. Can you go close to the light slightly? Okay, just leave this here itself. Just physically move and look into the light. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is look into the light even more. Turn. Light बंद किया, लाइट बंद किया. Alright, so can appreciate the change. So we got a white background, a pure white background, just by changing our direction. This is what happened because my light was closed when I took the first shot. So this is a low-key image. This is a low-key image again, but this is a high-key image. Whenever I get a white background, it's called as a high-key picture. Alright, so that kind of shows the effect of different lights on our subject. Okay, so what I want to show you now is this thing. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you 2-point lighting. Let me explain it to you what it means. So I have one main light on this side. If I use another light on this side, it is called as a 2-point lighting. Alright, and if I add one more light somewhere, it will be called as a 3-point lighting. So this is my main light. This is called as the key light. If I add one more light on this side to bring this side more in illumination, it will be called as a fill light. And if I keep a light for the hair, it will be called as a hair light. Alright. So in this image, if I want the hair of my subject to stand out, okay, it will be called as hair lighting. Alright, let me try and see if that's possible. Sure, is snoot on kar do. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'll try and get the snoot on that side. And that light is going to be falling on her hair. So it's going to be giving us very sharp outline to the hair. I'll just put the lights off and check where the light is falling first. Kishori, वहाँ पे रुको. थोड़ा बाल पे गिरे वैसे, थोड़ा ऊपर, सिर ऊपर कर दो, हाँ, yeah, that's it. All right, so you can see now that I'm going to be using two lights for this. The reason being, light बंद कर दो. The reason being, in this image, although this side is illuminated nicely, this side is blending in with the background. So if I want to demarcate this side and make my viewers understand where this side is ending, I can either put a fill light or I can put hair light. So let me just show you what a hair light is. Hair light is essentially a demarcating light that demarcates your subject from the background by giving it an outline, by giving your subject an outline. So hair lighting is typically very, very harsh as compared to the soft lighting. I'll just ask my staff to put it on and we'll check where the light is falling on the face. Alright, so it's falling on the hair. So I'm just going to be taking a trial shot first. Alright. And I'll put my softbox on as well. Let me take my first shot. इस तरफ आ जाओ ना, नीचे मत बैठो, यहाँ पे खड़े ही रहो. Just putting the lights off. So okay, so you can see the effects here itself. So what's going to happen in this case is the left side of my subject is going to be well illuminated, very nice and smooth, and the left side is going to get demarcated from the background with the help of the hair light. Alright, I wish it was a little bit more narrower, so I would have probably used a speed light in that case, but this light is also pretty broad. I'll have to be a little careful with my own angle, and let us see how it works out. Alright, so I'm going to be keeping this shot vertical, and let us see how it looks. Okay, so I'll just show you the picture how it is. Okay, so see what has happened. This side is well illuminated, it's beautiful, but this side the power was extremely heavy, so the hair light has become very, very powerful as compared to my main light. So in order to counter that, I can either increase the power of my key light or reduce the power of my hair light. Alright, so I'm going to be reducing the power of my hair light. इसका power कितना है? उसको ठीक है, उसको 3.5 कर दो. So I'm going to be making the power of my key light as 3.5, and I'm going to be reducing the power of my snoot. Okay, my snoot is already at 1 power, so that's minimum. It's powerful because it is pretty close. वो वाला light बंद करो.
कौन सा ये?
सारे lights बंद करो. I'm just taking it far so that the intensity reduces. ये बंद करो. Alright. Light on कर दो, तुम्हारा वाला. So what I did was, I've taken the light really far from my subject because that was already at minimum power. So what I did was I've taken it really far, so my staff had kept it very close, so that kind of increased the intensity. But right now it's really far and I have moved it away. The direction is away from the face. So first it was falling bang on the head, now it's just deflect, it's just hitting over there and deflecting outwards. So we'll see what is the result of this particular image. Right, again I'm going to be keeping it vertical, and I'm going to be seeing what is the result this time. Alright, I'll take one more shot. Chin down slightly. Alright, so let us see what the effect looks like. Light बंद कर दो तुम्हारा. And yeah, that's what the image will look like. So the difference over here is this side is well illuminated and this side is demarcated. Alright, so first this side was fully black. Now there is a good amount of hair light that's going on this side. I do have a scope to increase my f number even more, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm just going to go to maximum f value and repeat the shot again. Lights थोड़ा दूर कर दो, बहुत पास में आ गया ये. नहीं हो रहा था रानू. ठीक. So that light has come very close to my subject, so even that is affecting it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the shot, and there's a much better shot. Probably light one kar. Want to show it to you like this. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's a much better result. So basically this light is just falling on the hair. It's not falling anywhere else. A little bit on the zygomatic area. And this is called as hair lighting. So we have a key light over here and we have a hair light on this side. If you want more spillover on this side, you can ask the patient to look to the key light side. So let's just do that once. Light. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making more light fall on the contrast side. So I'll ask my subject to look on her left slightly, not so much. Yeah. Looking at the camera. Okay, look slightly more on the left. And yeah, light one. We'll see that there'll be more spillover. So compared to this one, you can see it's pretty dark on the other side, but now we have a greater spillover on the other side. So if your softbox is really big, like in this case my softbox is really big, it's difficult to constantly keep on moving. So you can ask your subject to move the face rather than moving the softbox. That's going to be much more easier. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be getting the light at 12 o'clock position, my octa at 12 o'clock position. Not 12 o'clock exactly, but as much in front as possible, so that the light is falling on both sides of the subject. Power बढ़ा दें. अभी कितना है?
3.5.
I'm just increasing the flash power because I've gone very far from my subject. 5. I'm gonna be increasing it to full power because it's pretty far from my subject. I'm gonna be putting all my lights off and I'm gonna be taking the shot. This is just gonna be a trial shot. Chin down slightly. Yeah. Look into the light. Okay, so this is how by changing the light direction you can get a lot of illumination on the other side. So you can see the difference over here. So this was very dark on this side. Now I asked the subject to look into the key light, so there's more light on the contrast side, and this is the result when I moved the light completely. So now we have light falling on both sides of the face, and on this side I have hair lighting as well, which is demarcating where my subject's face is ending. Alright, so that's about how I can use different light modifiers. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using I'm going to be keeping the octa at 3 o'clock position, and ये वाला जो है softbox वो वहाँ पे already है. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be keeping the octa over here itself, and instead of snoot at 11 o'clock position, I'm going to be getting another softbox at 9 o'clock position. So that will also be a 2-point light, and probably I think I'll use my speed light later on to give a little bit of hair lighting. Alright, so now I'm going to be having almost equal illumination of the face on both the sides of my subject. Alright. Okay, that's pretty good. So, think I might that's what the snoot looks like. People who haven't seen a snoot before, it's black inside. That's how it's different from 9 o'clock. That's how it's different from a reflector. Diffuser around. You might want to shift on that side slightly. Yeah. Diffuser लगा दो पहले किसी में. यहाँ पे ही है ना. Reflector नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं diffuser.
नहीं चाहिए. Reflector नहीं चाहिए. Diffuser.
बड़ा.
Alright, so I'm almost set with another light on the other side. Can you just shift on this side 1 second? I have to move this tool. So I have all set, and I have very limited space for my subject. Now, okay, थोड़ा पीछे ले लो. You can go and sit. इसको साइड पे ले लो ना. तुमको सिखाया मैंने कल. कैसे करते हो उसको? So since I have very little space, the light stand has to be placed in such a way that I utilize maximum amount of so that it uses minimum amount of space. Sorry. So now I have 2 lights on both sides. On कर दो. Power कितना है? 1.0 है शायद.
हाँ.
इसको 2.5 कर दो. Yeah. Can you physically move on this side slightly? Okay. तुम उधर ही रुको फिर. ठीक है. So now I have two lights on both sides of my subject. So this one is still a fill light because it's at low power as compared to this one. ये कितने पे था? 5 पे था. So this one is at full power. So this is my main light, and this one is at 2.5 power. So the ratio between the two is almost half the power as this one. But that's with respect to the power. But that's not going to be the effect because this one has double diffusion, so it's going to absorb much more light as compared to this one, and I believe this one is more closer, so you have to keep all these aspects into mind because this one is really far from my subject. You can see that's where it is. So it's really far from my subject as compared to this one, which is really close to my subject. This one has double diffusion, this one has a single diffusion. So there is a possibility that even this one will be really powerful. So I'll ask her to reduce the power slightly. So I'll ask her to make it around 1.5. I think that should be enough. And I'm going to be taking a picture from this direction whereas you all will be seeing the effect of this from this direction. Alright, so I'm just going to put that on, and now we have both the lights in action. I'm going to be putting my room lights off, and I'm going to be taking a shot. Alright, so okay. Kishori, तुम्हारा 1.0 कर दो. फ्लैश पावर कम कर रहे हो ना. Okay. And exactly that is what has happened. I think I'll have to put the other light off completely because um, it is really close to my subject and it's overpowering my key light. So I think the only option for me now is just use this as a reflector, means the white cloth will be the reflector. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to probably keep it off fully and just rely on this light to give me maximum effect. So I'm just going to be using one light because what happened exactly is this. So although this side of the light was at minimum power, this side couldn't cope with it because this side of the light is very close as compared to this side, and there's a single diffusion on this side, single diffuser on this side, this is double diffuser. All right, so let me bring it closer for you all to see it nicely. I think my camera is, yeah, now it is focusing. You can see this side is still bright. Okay, one second. You can see this side of the face is still bright as compared to the other side. Alright, so let me just take one more shot with this light fully off. Yeah, this is looking much more soothing as compared to the previous picture. Right, so this side is well illuminated. One second. This side is well illuminated, this side is filled nicely just because of the white cloth. Just because a white cloth is there, it's compensating for no light on that side, although this light is off. So just the white being there is causing such a big impact. Alright, so the last thing that I'm going to be showing you now is getting a white background. So I'm going to be keeping my octave behind my subject and I'm going to be using this light as my main light. So let me shift the octave behind my subject. Give me 2 minutes. Can you come on this side? You can sit on my stool. Sure, yes sir. Yeah. Straight कर सकते हो हेड नीचे जाएगा पूरा नीचे कर दो स्ट्रेट करो ठीक है चलेगा इससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा ना शायद Right on. So what we have now is I have a white background behind my subject, so I'm going to be getting a high key image, but that's still going to be my background. That's going to be my background and this is going to be my main source of light. Alright, Kishori, तुम्हारा power कितना है?
5.0.
So that's the behind light is really heavy. It's at 5.0 and this one is relatively lesser. So what I'm going to be doing first is I'm going to be taking a test shot and see how it is looking in my picture. Right, so I'm just going to keep you all like this and I'm going to be taking my shot. So we're going to get a high key image. Chin down straight. Okay, it's looking fantastic. Actually, I don't need to make any changes. Light one. So this is what my image is looking like. I've got a pure white background and this is my main light now. The background light is not my main light. The background light is my white background and this side is my main light. If I want more light on this side, I can ask my staff to hold a white background on this side of my subject, or I can ask my subject to look into the light so that the other side gets filled up. There are two ways you can do it. If you want the subject to still look straight, then you have to fill it on the other side. But if you are okay with the subject looking on her right hand side, then more light will fall on this side. So you can manage a particular situation in more than one with more than one solutions. So let's try and ask the subject to look into the light. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep my tripod over here, okay, and we'll ask the subject to look inside the light. Fantastic. Yeah. Eyes here. Slightly chin on my side. Okay, so let us check out the pictures. किशोरी तुम्हारा लाइट बंद था?
हाँ.
लाइट ऑन कर दो. Okay, so what happened in this particular shot was I did not get a pure white background. So you can see this is a pure white background, but in this one it's not a pure white background. In this one it's a gray background and it's wrinkled because the background light was switched off, and even in this one it's gray in color because the background light is switched off. So you can see the difference between both the pictures, pure white and wrinkled gray. Okay, so I'll have to retake these pictures. So you have to be mindful about what you are doing, because you're completely responsible for what's going on. Ask her to look in the light again. Very nice. And slightly on my side. Say cheese. Yeah. So this is the first time that I asked her to smile actually. Okay, so let us have a look at pictures. Lights band kar do. Okay, so okay, this is the wrinkled gray background, and now see the difference. This is a pure white background and this is the one with a smile. So in conclusion, what I want to say is you can get a white background only if you have a flash behind the subject. You cannot keep a white cloth behind and expect that you will get a pure white background. And you have to have a light source behind, in the sense you have to have a flash behind the subject. Only then you will get a white color background. Alright, so now what I'm going to be doing is, what's the time? Can you just check the time?
5:50.
So we have 10 more minutes, and what we can do is we can ask our subject to pose for us a bit, and then we can take a little bit of high key pictures, take a little bit of low key pictures, and we'll see how it comes out to be. So I'm shifting now. So I'm hopeful that you understood the light directions, and now I'm shifting to colored pictures by changing my picture style to neutral. And I'm going to be asking Dr. Arundhati to give me some beautiful poses so that we get some great pictures. Kishori, light on. Alright, so we'll start. 1 second. Okay, you want to look on this side? Because the light is on this side.
Okay.
So if you look on the other side, it's going to be fully dark.
Okay.
So if you want me to, if you want it on that side, I can shift it on this side.
No, I love this side.
Okay, fine, cool. So you guys have to be careful about the same thing as well. So let's begin. Look on my side. One more. Say cheese. You want to say cheese? Okay. One more slightly. Okay. Give me one more shot. Say cheese. One more. That's nice. I'm a little skeptical about this one. Just hold. Okay. Yeah. So you can see what has happened is the moment she looks on the other side, it is going to give a good amount of shadows on the other side. So this is the best for us. To be on the safer side, what we can do is we can shift to low key images as well. If we shift to low key images, that means there'll be one more light on this side, so she'll be very free to look on whatever side she wants to look at. But these are the results. They look stunning and beautiful. So what I'm going to be doing is, I think you're more comfortable on that side, so I'm just going to shift this on this side. Kishori, ये लाइट फ्रिज की तरफ कर दो. So I'm just going to shift my main light on the other side because I feel she is more comfortable on this side, so we have to shift it on that side. पहले तुम चले जाओ. Okay, ले लो. So a lot of shifting going on. Yeah, I'm all set. So now she is more comfortable as well. I think you all also can see it better than before. Okay, fridge. वो वाला लगा हुआ है, तो वो वाला वहाँ पे लगा दो, ये फ्रिज पे लगा दो. वो वाला यहाँ पे है ना, वो निकाल के वहाँ पे रख दो ना. फ्रिज वाला निकालो. You're kind of falling short of connections, sockets. Let me just help my staff in this. तुम वो वाला कितना नहीं आ रहा है इसका देखो. और वो वॉशरूम में भी लगा दिया तो बेचारे, तुमको जाना नहीं पड़ेगा.
बड़ी बटन कभी पूरा लाइटिंग करेगा इसको.
गायत्री, बंद करो ना. हाँ, बंद करो. Okay, so we are all set to take more high key images, and she does have space to pose. So what we can do, one more thing is light on kar do. We can probably shift a little bit on this side. You can just come on this side. I'll just shift the stool for you. Yes, now she's going to have a good amount of space to move around, and she'll be more comfortable now, I think, right? So let's check it out and do a great shoot. Right, just let me take a trial shot before. Can you move slightly behind? Yeah. Take the stool along with you. Okay. So trial shot. So every time before you shoot, you have to take trial shots. So it's looking great. It's looking fantastic. Okay. So let's start then. All right. So you can pose. Yeah, great, nice. Fantastic. 1 second. Yeah. Let's do it again. Nice. Okay. Can you keep your eyes closed for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah, one more. How about some good smile?
Yeah.
Some good teeth shots. Nice. Great. Say cheese, like big one. All right, let's just have you close your eyes in this one.
Oh.
Repeat once more. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at the pictures. Okay. So yeah. So this is what the images are looking like. Fantastic, brilliant. These are the one with. It's fantastic. The makeup is also looking good because now we've shifted to colored pictures. So basically what I also want to say is I never really focus a lot in my camera settings. I try to manage the whole thing with the light intensity and not the camera settings. All right. Great pictures. Fantastic. Very nice. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping since I want more softness in my pictures, I'm going to be keeping my Octa as my main light and my normal softbox as my background. Alright Kishori?
हाँ सर.
Lights interchange करेंगे. Octa मुझे इस तरफ दे दो.
किस तरफ सर?
मेरी तरफ. Octa उसकी जगह पे डाल दो कि इतना मजा नहीं आ रहा है. Soft lighting चाहिए मुझे. ठीक है तुम पहले ले लो. लाइट का कनेक्शन कहाँ पे दिया?
चलेगा वहाँ वही पे उसका उधर दे दे सर. इसको बाजू में रखेंगे ना 9 o'clock पे.
इसको बैकग्राउंड में रखना है.
अच्छा तो फिर उधर लगा देते हैं.
ठीक है पहले ये वाला वहाँ पे मुझे दे दो. So I have my Octa again as my key light. I'm not really happy with the softness of light. So I'm rearranging the whole thing again in the previous situation. ये कहाँ पे?
इधर ही
प्लग छोड़ो.
इस तरफ है. वो जरा लूज छोड़ दो.
लगा दोगे? Okay, so I'll ask. Yeah, I'll just make space for you 1 second.
ये लाइट ऐसे रहेगा ना?
बैकग्राउंड में.
हाँ.
ठीक है पहले तुम लगा दो प्लग. It does take a lot of effort to move things around, but once you're set, you have to keep on doing this. It's just you have to decide what you want at what place. Ready?
हाँ.
Alright, so I'm all set. With the Octa as my main light. Yeah. Come.
मैं उस तरफ हूँ.
Light on.
यहाँ से ऑन है.
Power क्या?
1.0.
2.5. 1.5.
1.5.
2 सेकंड उधर ही रुको.
ठीक है.
ओके सो थोड़ा इस तरफ एग्जैक्टली इनके सिर के पीछे 12 o'clock पे लो. लाइट. ओके जस्ट अ ट्रायल शॉट अगेन. ठीक है तुम वहीं पे रुको ना. Okay, so now why I did that was because I wanted more softness on my main light. So you can see, although this was a good high key image, but I'm not happy with the quality of light. So I've shifted to my Octa being my main light because this is much more softer than the Island Chrome lights. The Island Chrome softbox. Alright, so we'll ask her to pose again. But now I have to take care that my background is really small this time. So when you use a bigger octa behind the subject, you can be a little careless. But when your background is so small, you have very little space to play with. Alright, so let me try, and I'll ask Dr. Arundhati to pose for us in just a bit. Alright, so once again, it's brilliant. One second. It's getting in Rembrandt position. One second. किशोरी,
हाँ सर,
तुम्हारा वाला लाइट थोड़ा वॉशरूम की तरफ ले लो. बस ठीक है. Alright. Some more swag. Okay. Alright. We'll check out the pictures, which are much more softer now as compared to the previous ones. You can see the result is very soft because this is an octa. Okay, so now I'm going to be moving on to a high close-up of the lips because that is also very popular in dentistry. So we're going to get the light really close. Background वाला light और पास में ले सकते हैं वॉशरूम की तरफ. नहीं सीधा ही रखना उसको, लाइट को टेढ़ा मत करो. Right, so I'm gonna go really close to the lips now and look into the light. Okay, even more. I can just. Yeah. Alright, say 1 second. Just a trial shot. Say cheese. Okay, so we'll have a look at the picture, and this is what the image is going to look like. So we have two lights that are being used right now. One is a light in the background and one is the key light. So you can do this with one light also, but it's easier if you have two lights. So one more, and this on that side. 1 second, look upwards, chin up. Can you look more on the left, like turn more on the left? Open your mouth slightly. More. Even more. Yeah. So we'll just show it to everyone over here. So this is what the images will look like. So you can take different angles. Usually I do not like cheeks seen on the other side. So if you want to avoid cheeks on the other side, you can ask the patient to look more perpendicular into the light. And if you want more separation between the teeth, you can ask the patient to open the mouth. That's going to give you a better result. Alright. Okay. So let us just try this with a single light. किशोरी तुम्हारा लाइट हटा दो, तुम्हारा लाइट एकदम पीछे डाल दो, पूरा ही हटा दो, बंद कर दो. So I'm going to be trying this with my light now, only my light, as a single light. Alright, so if I want to take the lip picture with a single light, what I can do is I can move the light in such a way and keep my angle in such a way that when I point my camera, I can see the white background also behind, but the light is actually falling on her lips. So the light is actually falling here, but I have to keep my camera position such that, for example, if I move in like this, I should not be able to see a black background behind. You can see if I keep my camera angle like this, I'm going to be getting a black background and not a white background. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be keeping my angle slightly like this so that I get a white background. I'll show you just by changing my lens direction how I can get a white black background and a white background with the same light position. Alright, so first I'll try for a black background, but I have a problem. So you can see there is one softbox over there. It can create a problem because it will not allow me to take a full black background. I'll have to remove that from there, but just for the heck of it, I'll just let it be. But ideally that should not be there. Okay. और वो निकालोगे तो और प्रॉब्लम होगा.
नहीं ऐसा कर देते ना.
वो लाइट से वॉशरूम की तरफ डाल दो ना. लाइट हटा दो उसको वहां से. वो वापस ढक दो. सिल्वर ज्यादा रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा. So what my staff did was she removed the white, thinking that it might help. But if you remove the white cloth, you are exposing the silver, so that's even more dangerous. You have to be careful and watchful about such things. You have to keep an eye on your background a lot. Right? So I'm all set. And I'm going to be taking a black background. So I'm going to be shooting in this direction, and then I'll be shooting in this direction to get a white background. Alright, so let me just get in close. Alright, slightly open. Okay, now I'm just changing my direction and same thing. Yeah. Okay, so let us have a look at both of them. You can see first was a low-key image and the second one is a high-key image, and that is possible just by changing the direction. I got a little bit of black rectangle here. I'll have to repeat the shot. So what you can do is you can ask your subject to go close to the light. And it's really easy, very honestly. Doesn't really, it's very easy to take studio shots as compared to formal documentation. Alright, so I think that's about it that I wanted to show today. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Time kya ho gaya? Okay. ठीक है. So I think I'll take up questions for 5 more minutes and then I'm going to be calling it day, because I need to take some great pictures for Dr. Arundhati before she leaves, and that's not possible when education is going on. Alright, so I'm going to be keeping everything aside and do a shoot exclusively for her. I'm going to wrap up everything at 6:30, but before that I'm going to be taking questions from you if there are any questions. Do we have questions? इसको 3 o'clock पे लगा दो. So I'm waiting for any questions. So I guess you don't have any questions. If you don't have any questions, so I use only one lens for anything. That's 100mm macro lens. It goes without saying, because at any point of time I do not want any distortion to take place. So I never use any other lens. I just use a 100mm macro lens. Alright, any other questions? That question was asked by Abhinav Mishra. Abhinav, we always use a 100mm macro lens for anything. So you can see my clinic is really small, but still I can easily manage everything even with a 100mm macro lens. So that is what I'll always suggest. You don't need to bother about lenses too much. Manish, you joined in late. Whatever I watched, it was full of info. But I think after you came in, we had a lot of problems shifting the lights actually. Maybe I could have planned it even better, but it's completely fine. But I think it was quite an educational interaction. I'm sorry for the disconnection in between because of a call. Darshita is asking me light recommendations. So Darshita, I'm going to be making an ebook for this, and I'm going to be making an ebook of my recommendations. And what you can do is you can join my Telegram group, and then I'll be posting the ebook over there. So I'll let you know about the recommendations on the ebook. Gaurav is asking me, can you explain about the 12 o'clock butterfly? So sorry, the butterfly is at 6 o'clock, not 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is behind my subject. I said that by mistake, but basically anything in front of the patient. So butterfly is exactly above the patient's head. So if I tell you diagrammatically, this is going to be your light position right above your head, falling on the nose, and you'll be getting butterfly light, butterfly shadow just below the nose. Alright, so that's butterfly lighting. Is going to be giving you equal amount of light on both sides of your face. It exaggerates your zygomatic area, and it gives you a shadow in the chin, in the cheek area, so the person looks a little more beautiful. So celebrities like to take a lot of butterfly lighting shots, and it's one of the easiest lights anyway, so it's good to do butterfly lighting. So I hope I could answer that nicely, Gaurav. Abhinav, you saw Godox 300 watts at 9000, FRX 400 at 40 plus. Is the cheaper one recommended? So I've already finished answering it last time. I do not like Godox, and there are a lot of reasons for it. I already answered a lot of them in the last session. I am not comfortable with Godox. I'm not going to recommend it, but if you want to buy it, you can go ahead and buy it, and not an issue at all. Alright, the effects will be the same. Godox has a lot of problem with connectivity with the camera. I think in the Godox that I have, only one is having a radio receiver, which I don't like. I like lights with both my lights with radio receivers. Alright, so the only thing that I missed out today was 3-point lighting, which I don't have time for right now. Alright, so I'm just going to be keeping the questions with respect to the studio lighting. If you have any more questions, you can email it to me on dentalphotographyschool@gmail.com. As simple as that. So just note it down, dentalphotographyschool@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining in, guys, and I'm going to be switching off. I'm going to be saying bye to all of you all, and I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow. Alright, so tomorrow is an awesome session on tabletop photography. So don't miss out on that, because we have a lot of awesome things coming along. So I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock sharp. I'm going to be starting the live streaming 5 minutes before. So stay tuned. I hope you liked today's session. If you want to probably comment on how the session was, you can put it on your own Facebook profile and tag me along with that. Thank you so much once again for joining in, and goodbye. And yeah, I would probably want to thank Dr. Arundhati in front of everyone. So thank you, Dr. Arundhati. She's not seen much. Oh, light laga dena. Now she's seen. Yeah, so everybody's saying thank you, Dr. Arundhati.
Thank you for having me.
For a live model show. Alright, so thank you guys for tuning in, and bye bye everyone. Alright, Arun, bye bye. Ankur, Grishma, Abhinav, Manish, Aghin, Gaurav, Tanushri, Sancheti, Darshita, then Sharimala, and Narayan, Hardik, Dhwani, Nikunj, Vipul, Diktarup, Husham, Saeed, Amol, Trijesh, Marjan, Suresh, and Mary, Arun, Karikalan, Rupali, and others. Wakas Bhai, Nitesh, Rakesh, Nupur, Museluddin, Vijay, Shams, Arun again, Shahana, Binu, Jacob, Rashmi, Sai, Chaitali, Praveen. Lots of names out there, so I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow directly. So that's a goodbye from me. I'll be seeing you tomorrow for a tabletop photography session. Bye bye.